As promised in last week's video, in today's video, we're going to tackle skincare order. I get lots of comments about when should I use this active or that active? When should I moisturize? Before or after? When should I wear sunscreen? Every day I keep telling you. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about skincare order exclusively, which product goes first, second, third. So stay tuned if you wanna know how to properly apply your skincare for the best results possible for your beautiful skin. This is Olena of OlenaBeley.com and welcome back to my channel. Good to see you again. I want to get right into it because it's not a very complicated thing. When do we use what products first, right? The question I get most often is in terms of actives. When do I apply this or that active? So the first step to a good skincare routine is, of course, cleansing with a gentle, well-formulated, water-based cleanser. And I have plenty of videos on this channel, so if you need a cleanser recommendation, don't ask, just watch the videos. So that is the first step, cleansing. After cleansing, step 2 would be your actives, if that's what you're using, if you have any actives in your routine. Now, I was gonna do a separate video about what are active ingredients because I get that question too, but why not answer it here? Active ingredients are ingredients that actually play a certain function in your routine. Lowering inflammation, increasing cellular turnover, promoting collagen synthesis, or even protecting your skin from sun damage. Actives are basically ingredients that have a lot of data behind them to prove that they can actually impact the skin in some measurable way. Inactive ingredients, they are there to support the formula, make sure that the formula is stable, doesn't breed bacteria or mold or yeast. Feels good and that the actives can go where they actually need to go, right? You don't want to use a jillion different products for the active step. Choose 1 or 2 gentle ones, hopefully, in your morning routine and 1 or 2 in the evening routine, but you're not going to have that many actives, okay? So you don't really have to worry about the order of them unless one is heavier than the other. Then I would go with the lighter one first and then I would follow with the heavier one. However, sometimes we don't need active ingredients in a formula. For example, like a moisturizer, right? All those ingredients would not necessarily be active. They still provide a function for your skin. They really do still support your skin. I hope you understand what I mean. So for example, active ingredients would often come with a percentage associated with them. So you would know the strength of the active ingredient that you're getting in a formulation. 5% lactic acid, 2% salicylic acid, 0.5% retinoid. If there is no percentage, then that active ingredient might be in the formulation at a very small amount. So if you're looking for a specific active, also look for the percentage to be very clear on the bottle, okay? So that's some best practices for you. I would mostly apply actives to dry skin because some actives, they will penetrate much more deeply and actually cause far more irritation when applied to wet skin than dry skin. So after cleansing, I would dry your skin, and then on dry skin, I would apply the actives and allow them to also absorb, okay? Dry. In terms of the speed of your routine, you would kind of just allow each step to dry before moving on to the next step. So once your actives have dried, then I would do the 3-step moisture method. And the most common question that I get about this is, Olena, if I apply water after the active, then won't it dilute it or wash it away? It won't, because generally active ingredients still kind of work more deeply in your skin already, so you can't really wash them off as such. Especially things like benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid or even vitamin C. It will go where it needs to go. You're not washing it off after you put it on your face, okay? So the 3-step moisture method doesn't actually interfere with your actives. And for those of you who are like, what's the 3-step moisture method? I have an entire video on that. Go watch it, I'll link it below. It's on how to properly moisturize, and this method is absolutely transformative. You have no idea how many testimonials I have from people from around the world, clients and just people who follow me, who have told me that their skin has absolutely bounced back after they started implementing the 3-step moisture method. So actives, dried, Three-step moisture method, dried, because you want to allow even your moisturizer to dry down. And then I would wash your hands. Yes, this is an important step because if you don't, you might have your moisturizing products on your hands. And then when you go to apply the next most important step, which is sunscreen, broad spectrum sunscreen, you might cause some pilling. So I recommend washing hands, drying hands, and then applying a generous 1/4 teaspoon amount of sunscreen. That can be like an entire full pump. If it's a generous pump, if it's a small pump, then take 2, but make sure your entire face, neck, and ears is covered with sunscreen in like a really good layer. Be generous with sunscreen. It will not clog your pores if it's well formulated. So that's kind of the case with all skincare products. They will not clog your pores when they're well formulated. So again, you've cleansed, you've applied your actives, you've allowed those to dry, you've done your 3-step moisture method, you've allowed that to dry, and then you applied your SPF, and then you allowed that to dry before you go on to do your makeup. Now, some people might ask a follow-up question to this in terms of actives. Many people are like, what about toners and essences and serums, etc.? I don't think of products like that. I'm thinking about what am I giving to my skin to support my skin. By the way, you should watch the video on 9 products that you don't need, and you might learn a few things that you actually don't need in terms of your skincare routine. Toner, essences, okay, all this stuff. So there's some stuff that you don't have to even worry about in terms of layering. But what about your evening routine? And there will be a caveat that I will cover at the end of this video, so stay tuned. In your evening routine, you would do the same. You would cleanse, do your actives, and then you would follow with the 3-step moisture method, and then you would get a lot of beauty sleep, 8 to 10 hours, okay? However, there is an exception. The exception is this. If your skin is especially sensitive, I wouldn't even do more than 1 active per step, and maybe even per day, depending on the sensitivity of your skin, number 1. Number 2, it is actually possible to totally change the order of things if your skin is ridiculously sensitive. Because this kind of skin type does exist, right? Or maybe you've gotten it to a really sensitized place that it's sensitive for now. But if you take really good care of it, over time, it should become less and less sensitive. The key, of course, is not to overdo it with the actives. That's why I'm recommending fewer of them. But also, you can apply the actives after the 3-step moisture method has dried. So everything would be different. You would cleanse, then you would do the 3-step moisture method, and then so you don't have to wait between those steps, allow to dry, and then follow with the active of choice. Okay? And that would mean that you would be buffering that active. This would, work better for like stronger actives, obviously. Some people, they do this with azelaic acid. Some people do this with retinoid. Some people do this with benzoyl peroxide. It depends on the person, depends on the skin condition, etc., right? But there is a context in which you can actually apply actives after the 3-step moisture method, okay? So again, this is totally the best option for very, very sensitive skin. But if your skin is quite resilient, you can do it the first way I mentioned in this video, and then your skin should thrive and be amazing. As long as you have the gentle cleanser, the 3-step moisture method, and sunscreen, your skin should already be pretty well maintained. But the actives, they give us a little bit of extra power, extra support, depending of course on the skin. All skin kind of needs different combinations of actives, right? So that's where you have to do more research and decide what is best for you. The key here is don't overdo it. I know right now, since every company's coming up with, all kinds of serums with all kinds of actives, all kinds of high percentages of them, Pixie Glow Tonic, for example, that is super overused. Many people are literally on their way to rosacea, okay? They're being way too aggressive. They're using products that are way too strong, way too often for even resilient skin, and then they're going to create conditions if they haven't already. So the key with skincare is, of course, a proper order, well-formulated products that are gentle, using the stuff consistently, but also listening to your skin and not overdoing it, okay? I really want to emphasize this point because I see a lot of teenagers, especially nowadays, overdoing it, especially with things like masks, because the more often you use masks, the worse your skin gets. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. They often don't contain any actives, though they're just poorly formulated, useless products. Watch my video of 9 things that you definitely don't need for your skin. I'll link it below. I have 2 of those, 9 things and then another 9 things that you definitely don't need in your skincare routine. None of my clients use this stuff and have absolutely epic skin. So I hope this helps you not worry when you use the 3-step moisture method after your actives. That's really why I made this video. Just to clarify that point, that your actives don't actually wash away with the 3-step moisture method. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends. They might be totally misusing their products in the wrong quarter. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more videos on how to properly care for your skin so that you have the clearest, most vibrant, healthy, glowy skin. Oh, this was Olena of OlenaBeley.com. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I share almost daily skin tips, and I join you live on our Clearly Aligned lives, because there's, of course, skincare that is important in terms of taking care of this beautiful organ that we call skin, and then there is alignment that takes care of all the rest of us. Alignment is just so magical. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.